precise, the police closet in this case. It now turns out that the actions of the Pune police in the Porsche horror case have been less than credible, leading many to apprehend that justice may not be delivered to the two hapless victims who were mowed down by the murderous dereliction of the 17-year-old inebriated dissolute who thought driving daddy's big, fancy and super expensive sports car was going to make a more desirable man out of him. Yes, viewers, the young Agarwal, and I'm not going to call him a minor here, viewers. In America, at 16, you get your license to drive. And you have to be more responsible. It's forced upon you because a car at the end of the day, viewers, a speeding car, is no less than a missile, a weapon that can kill. And in this case, it did. Two individuals. Because this dissolute could not draw a line between what is expected of him as an individual in our society and the temptations that he thought would make him more popular. Viewers, here's a list of the affronts by the police officers who allegedly might even have been seduced by the guiles of the spoilt and entitled protagonists' parents. Viewers, there are distinctly three villains here. At the apex, viewers, is this young man, not minor, man, and he should be treated by the law as an adult in this matter. He was only a few months short of his 18th birthday. That would have entitled him to even vote in this country. So at the apex, right on top, viewers, is this dissolute young man. On another side of this apex are his parents, and the third leg of the triangle, so to speak, of this pyramid. And in fact, it's an inverted pyramid of vanities, viewers, is the police. I would in fact believe that the police is actually the base, the strongest reinforcement of this pyramid. But viewers, unfortunately, the police has acted in a manner that would appear that it is incidental to this entire issue. But more about that later. First, some facts. There have been definitive lapses, and the man in the middle of your screens that you just saw is the Pune Police Commissioner, who has been under relentless pressure, has crawled out of the little carapace under which he was hiding for this last 1 week and admitted for the first time in public that certain things could have been handled better. Of course, viewers, he hasn't made a clean breast of things by going the whole hog and saying that yes, it appears that some of our officers might in fact have colluded. But we'll come to that later, viewers. The first lapse, the blood test was done after 9 hours. Can you believe it, viewers? In between, after this dissolute young man ran over those two hapless individuals who had very bright futures, were already contributing to our economy. Viewers, this dissolute scion of a completely valueless family, viewers, was treated like a house guest in the police station, allowed to sleep by some accounts, may have even been fed burgers and pizzas by another account, which is being investigated by the viewers, so that he could dissolve, presumably, the intoxicant that was flowing through his veins. And we don't know what a heady cocktail it would have been, viewers, because some people are saying drugs were involved too, but I'm not going there because we don't have the facts. Because guess what, viewers? The blood report for 1 week is not available. some great, brilliant scientist is conducting an extensive, perhaps viewers, spectrography to determine over 6 days the chemical composition of this dissolute's blood at the time when he was running over these individuals, but perhaps we will never know. Because viewers, as I told you, the blood test was done after 9 hours. Most people will tell you that's enough time for the effects of alcohol, which is an extremely vaporous substance, to perhaps even be breathed out, so to speak. There was another lapse. The wireless control room was not informed. Can you believe it, viewers? 2 people are lying dead. The driver has been pulled out by an enraged mob that had set upon him to give him the thrashing of his life. I don't approve of vigilantism, viewers, but sometimes you get so angry, you see. Not that I'm endorsing it in any form, but one can see what could have happened there. Despite all of that, the wired control room is not informed. So this matter was probably going to be buried. The third lapse. The charges are upgraded only in the second FIR. In the first, viewers, this individual was treated like an ordinary schoolboy would have been who failed to submit his homework. Write an essay, said the juvenile board. Write an essay about how you should behave with people and what you should do to reform yourself, and do a little bit of time with the police in helping society at large, and you can go home, beta, with a little lollipop in your mouth. Go home to your parents who will indulge you further. Go back to that craven environment from which you crawl back. Viewers, this guy, this young man, got bailed out also because of the weak first FIR that was filed by the police. There was another lapse. The father was arrested only after an outrage, after the media, after your channel, viewers, went to town on the iniquity in this story, woven in to an order passed by the great judiciary of this country, viewers. The father is then arrested, viewers, and he'll probably be out. Because under the law, if the father says that, look, I didn't know that my son had stolen the keys or taken them, etc., etc., he can get away. And he probably will. He probably will. The fifth lapse, viewers. The driver behind the wheel statement, that old chestnut, viewers, that all rich kids employ when they are caught. No, we weren't driving. Our driver was driving. He is the mad, wicked person. He is the person who lost control. A poor person's life, viewers, then becomes fodder for a few pennies that are thrown. Remember, there has been another very famous hit-and-run case concerning an actor which withered, viewers, into ether, disappeared like a perfume, no trace of it. The guy got away. I don't want to go there, viewers, because those matters will land us all in trouble. As you know, the powerful have huge resources to make those people who want to speak the truth shut up. But we won't, viewers. We won't shut up. We will keep asking the question in this particular case. And I want to open this up, viewers. I want to open this up because questions have to be asked of the system. And the system is represented tonight by the spokesperson of the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP, whose Neta, another MLA, landed up at this police station to advocate for this dissolute young adult, viewers. And I want to begin with Bridge M. Srivastavaji. Good evening, Srivastavaji. Why did your MLA, Mr. Tingle, go to this place? Why did he go to the police station? What does he owe the family of this dissolute young brat?
First, I want to pay my condolence to the victim family. And on behalf of my party, I want to clear this thing our MLA was there because he represents that area. He's a representative of that area. People are not appreciating this thing that he reached there in midnight, because it's a responsibility of the public representative also. If somebody get information that something has happened, and at that time he was not knowing this fact, that who is the victim
Mr.
and
Srivastava, who
did this
called him?
accident.
Who called him?
His-
Since he
his
came
PA,
to
his-
realize his responsibility, who gave him a call?
Very correct, very correct. What he has spoken on the
Srivastava ji, who
media
called him?
also, I am
Phone
telling
किसने
you,
उनको किया?
his PA rang him that some accident has happened
No.
in our area.
No.
And
That's not the fact. We are being told that he was called by one of the relatives of this dissolute young adult who was intoxicated and thought because he was rich daddy's son, he could run over people because he would not be caught. Please
अब
don't
दो ही
mislead
बातें हैं
us.
इस पे दो बातें हैं। एक ये कि जिन लोगों ने कहा है, या तो हम उनकी बात पे विश्वास करें या हम उस आदमी की बात पे विश्वास करें जिस पे आरोप लगाया जा रहा है कि वो पुलिस स्टेशन क्यों पहुंचा। उन्होंने बहुत खुल के इस बात को कहा है कि मैं वहां इसलिए पहुंचा था कि मेरे पीए ने मुझे बताया कि हमारे एरिया में कोई एक बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हुआ है। तो इस बात को हमें अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए कि बीइंग ए पब्लिक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, when he got this information, immediately he reached to the police station. No doubt there was an accident that did by his known person, because he represents this area. How you can say that he doesn't know the concerning persons? But it doesn't mean he influenced the police to make the FIR as per the requirement of that family. So it's very clear. Going off a representative, you can say that he was there just to influence the police. Why you are not taking in this way? That he was there because he want to help the affected pupils, and he was having no information who is the victim and who did this thing. This is the fact.
Okay.
Rahul.
One second.
Rahul,
So
may
first
I
of all,
just make
viewers, we're seeing an attempt that is being made by the NCP to valorize this neta. If I were to ask
Not
the
valorize.
gentleman, Mr. Srivastava, वो कितने accidents जो होते हैं उस इलाके में अपनी constituency में, वो कितने accidents को जाके physically attend करते हैं सर? Zero.
देखिए मैं
मगर यहाँ पर उनको बहुत रुचि हो रही थी।
ना मैं आपको बताऊं, मैं खुद एक पब्लिक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव रहा हूं
जी।
और हमेशा जब भी मेरे एरिया में कभी कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट हुआ, अगर उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन मिली, हमारी कोशिश होती है कि हम जाकर देखें, और अगर उस समय किसी की मदद की जरूरत है तो उसकी हम मदद करें। उस समय ये नहीं देखा जाता कि एक्सीडेंट किसने किया है और किस आदमी की उसमें डेथ हुई है। मुद्दा ये होता है कि उस समय जो भी विक्टिम्स होते हैं उनको मदद की जरूरत होती है। बीइंग ए पब्लिक रिप्रेजेंटिव, इट्स ए रिस्पांसिबिलिटी।
Okay, let me open this up. Let me open this up. One second,
Rahul.
Tehseen Poonawala. I know that you know this family and you probably want to sit here and advocate for them. I know this.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You don't know them?
That's not.
Do you
fair.
not know them?
Of course, I know them, and that's.
They're your
exactly what I'm
family
putting.
friends, right?
No,
No, they're not family
knowing
friends. I know them.
someone is
I know
not a
somebody.
crime,
Does not
actually.
mean they're family friends.
No, so are you going to advocate for them tonight, or
No,
are you
no,
going
no.
to say that the
Ulta.
system needs to be
Ulta.
the system needs to
Ulta.
be the system
Ulta.
needs
Let
to
me
be
tell you some truths.
interrogated?
Yeah, let me tell you the truth about everybody. Just to first of all, please don't say I'm advocating for them. That's a terrible thing to say. I do know them. I know these people, and please let's get the truth out. The NCP spokesperson is lying on your show. Every single corporator and MLA, particularly Ajit Pawar's corporators and MLAs, are hand in glove and in bed with builders. This family is a builder family. Let's be clear, okay? And Ajit Pawar can think what he wants. I don't give a damn. Okay, so all these builders, the reason that MLA went there is because it's a builder family. Let's be very clear. Second thing, the Pune police is hand in gloves with all of these people. All builders work with Pune police. All pub owners work with Pune police. Rahul, I've been in the pub business. One fine day, I got up and I left this business in 2010 because I couldn't take the corruption. These police people, there is this corruption because police encourage this corruption. Police extort money from you. You're supposed to be corrupt, as a result of which underage people will get drinks because you have to pay the system the money. So pubs will also not check this business because everybody is in bed. So the reason this MLA goes there is because it's a builder's son. He wouldn't go for any of our kids because it is Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar runs the construction business in Pune. Let's be clear about it. Number two, this is a powerful family. The police also change everything and give him kid glove treatment because not only are police hand in glove with the builders, Pune police is hand in glove with the pub owners. Where this accident has happened, Kalyani Nagar, the area, that's 2 minutes from where I stay. That's a residential area. Rahul, I invite Anand and you and Ajit Pawar spokesperson to come with me to Pune. Pubs have mushroomed there. There is no rule. There's no law and order. Cars are parked on the road. People urinate on the road, break bottles. There are fights. And the Pune police is a spectator, mute spectator. I'm telling you, this is the reason I left this business. It's terrible. Okay. So all of these rich kids come there. They drive their expensive cars. This is one car. You'll see Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, 16-year-old. There's a nightclub in this area where the richer your car can be taken inside the nightclub. Now they're all drinking on top of the car. All of this is in presence of Pune police. Pune police is encouraging it. From the local, money is paid for posting in this area. I dare the Pune police on your show to put a case on me if I'm lying. Money is paid to be posted in this area and it goes right to the top. All of these people, the minimum hafta simple nightclub gives would be about 1.5 to 2 lakhs a month to put these excise separate. And there are hundreds of nightclubs.
So this is all happening under the watch.
It's been happening. Residents on the street, they're protesting. Police register cases
all
on
legislators,
residents.
of all MPs, of all governments, most probably.
Against, yes.
It
But
cuts
Ajit
across.
Pawar is
Can you
leading.
believe it, viewers? This is the murderous mafia. The neta, pub owner, whatever it is, and all these other characters who think that through their various little side games, all of that, they can get around the system. Dr. Ranganathan and Mr. Hegde, let me bring you in here. Dr. Ranganathan, first of all, as I was saying, there are three villains in this piece. What do you make of the way this case has erupted into the public glare?
Good evening, Rahul. Look, this Pune case is systemic malfunction of our police and judiciary. Let's not hold back here because holding back, that time is come and gone. Very recently, we had a police commissioner who was on the run. This is a country where terrorists are heard at midnight while 80,000 cases are pending in the Supreme Court. 6 million cases are pending in the High Court. 44 million cases are pending in the district courts. And one of the Chief Justices of India says, pendency is not a useful indicator of how well or poorly a system is doing. This is a country where a murderer's punishment is being ordered to write a 300-word essay. 300-word essay. Rahul, India has just 20 judges per million population. 38% of High Court and 21% of all judicial positions lie vacant. Number of pending cases have now crossed 50 million. That's more than the population of South Korea. 76% of all prisoners are under trials. And one of the Chief Justices of India says, we are answerable only to the Constitution. Out of a total of 50 million pending cases, 101 lakh and 82,000 cases are as old as 30 years. As many as 2,44,001 pending cases are of rape and child sex offences. And one of the Chief Justices of India says, if you empower a man, you empower an individual. If you empower a woman, you empower a nation. Rahul, where are the police and judicial reforms? By the time this debate finishes, 4 women would have been raped, 2 under trials would have been encountered, and 3 cases would have been added to the 5 crore pending cases at our current pace of dispensing justice. It would take 323 years to clear this backlog. Now let me briefly come to the other pillar. The sad fact, Rahul, is that every central or state government uses the police like a zamindar uses a serf. It is the police force that is the highest perk of our netas, not the Lal Batti or an ambassador. And they treat them so shabbily. We have only 137 policemen per lakh population. The UN recommends 220. 24% police posts lie vacant. Worse, they are equipped with outdated weapons and communications across states. There is 35% inadequacy of police vehicles. There is 75% shortage in weaponry in Rajasthan Bengal police forces. 51 police stations across India are still without a telephone or wireless. The 7-point SC directive through the Prakash Singh case is yet to be applied. Is there any wonder that sadly a vast majority of Indians happily prefer extrajudicial process over judicial? Our protectors have turned into perpetrators. The subjugation of our executive by our legislature is near total, Rahul. The policemen work for the politician and vice versa. These are supposed to be independent pillars holding aloft our democracy. But democracy has turned into a menagerie with caged parrots fluttering amok. Who do we believe? Who do we trust? Apocalypse has come and gone, Rahul. We are living in a post-apocalyptic India where the wheels of judiciary and executive aren't just grinding slowly. They have come to a stop.
Well, let me bring in the senior advocate of the Supreme Court, Sanjay Hegde. Mr. Hegde, worthies of JJB, should they be pulled up? Number one. Should a judicial probe be ordered into the police action or inaction, as the case may be, as it is alleged? Number three, where has the government failed? And then after you answer these three questions, I want us to get into the specifics because I want us to evaluate now the evidence. But before that, Mr. Hegde.
Well, as far as the JJB is concerned, it is applying the law because if somebody is to be treated as a juvenile, then it's a child in conflict with the law. If somebody with above 16 but below 18 were to commit a crime, then the person can be tried as an adult. That's an amendment which has come past the Nirbhaya case. Those proceedings are on. Now, where has the system failed? The system has been as successful or as unsuccessful as society itself. 40 years ago, there was a Kannada film, which you may or may not have seen, called Accident, with Shankar Nag, Anant Nag, and Arundhati Nag.
I remember this.
You just look at the film and the parallels are uncanny, including a driver suddenly surfacing after the accident. The only difference there was that the spoilt youngster was not a builder's son, but a politician's son in that. But the point I'm making is that we have seen this event happening again and again. I've appeared in the Supreme Court in a case which arose out of a BMW in Ahmedabad. That is the Vismay Shah case, 2012. And it took quite some time, but finally he was, due to public pressure also and media focus, ultimately sentenced to 5 years in jail, despite him hiring the best of lawyers to try and keep them out of jail. But the problem is simply this, that we as a society do not have a culture of defensive driving. The car is an instrument of power, an instrument to show off, and the expensive cars which go at 200 plus on the roads are not really designed for Indian roads. So the first thing that we really need to do is to figure out what cars we can let in on our roads.
No, hang on, Sanjay Hegde. Now we are being, I'm sorry to say, extremely sort of idealistic or, extremely
I'm just
sort of...
giving you the big picture.
Yeah, let's get to the big picture because I didn't see you. Because, look, you said that he could be tried as an adult under the law after Nirbhaya. So why didn't this JJB apply that instead of asking him to write an essay and basically go home? I want to ask you this, and then suddenly everyone does a reverse, a U-turn after the media asks these questions. So what about the accountability first, right at the top of the JJB and those those conscienceless, and let me say it, let them summon me, justices?
The point is that the JJB is just another court, but it acts under the Juvenile Justice Act. Now, the Juvenile Justice Act mandates them to treat everybody below 18 as a child in conflict with the law.
No, but now they're not. Now suddenly they're not. Now suddenly they're not.
That's because the prosecution turned, right? The prosecution did not make the necessary application.
Oh, so you're saying that the justices themselves can't apply their mind. They have to be goaded. Even when they know that perhaps the prosecution is maybe compromised. I don't know.
No, the way the system operates is that the prosecution has the charge of the case. That's in any case. You have the public prosecutors and the prosecution then makes an application. No, the prosecution at that stage should have opposed the bail, saying, no, we are coming up with an application. please hold your hands.
I refuse
The
to think.
prosecution at
I
that
refuse
point
to
of time
think there
did
is
not
no
do.
greater check and balance. There is no application of mind. Yes, Dr. Ranganath.
Rahul.
I humbly disagree. I humbly disagree with with Mr. Hegde. I don't think it is the fault of the car. Otherwise, all of us should be riding on bullock carts because that's the most amenable transport for India. It is the fault of the judiciary and the executive, plain and simple. The judge did not apply his mind properly. I'm sorry to say that, even if this would be held as contempt of court. The fact of the matter is, when the law is absolutely clear, on what basis are you saying write a 300-word essay as a punishment? All of us remember that famous headline or infamous headline as "No one killed Jessica," don't we? What happened there? Are the judges so blind that they cannot apply their mind? And was the killer of Jessica not convicted later on because of public pressure? I want to ask this. It's all very well for the public to apply pressure, but why should it come to the public applying pressure? What is the judiciary doing? In fact, it should be, the judiciary should be castigated for succumbing to the public pressure. It is embarrassing.
No, someone, I mean, the Chief Justice of our country who steps in everywhere and has a word to say about everything. He should step in here and say this was a complete mockery of the judicial process, led by, unfortunately, this gentleman with a swishing sweatan who gave this person the homework of doing 300-word essays. Can you believe it, viewers? 2 people are dead. And you are sitting there and asking for a person like, he's some errant child who's forgotten to do his maths homework. And a large number of us were told, write a 300-word essay on why from tomorrow I must submit my maths homework. I mean, this is ridiculous, viewers. And if you say anything, these chaps will come after you. If you ask them a question, they'll come after you, viewers. And they'll slap a contempt notice on your face to shut you down. Biggest autocrats. Let me tell you this. Biggest.
Rahul.
Well, one second. I know I'm getting carried away and probably sailing too close to the wind. But it's a worthy case to tempt fate on. Secondly, viewers, this whole bunch of politicians at election time, virtue signaled and landed up there, the deputy CM, this, that, the other, who are very famously giving interviews left, right, and center. Have they instituted a judicial inquiry into this matter? They could have easily made a call upon the courts to say, let's institute a judicial inquiry. My government takes this matter suo moto to do this. Empty words. We're going to see, the police. We're going to see when they bring a report. As an internal probe is being ordered by the police, my dear viewers, into this case. The same police that apparently was compromising this case is going to investigate itself. Are we all duffers sitting here? Yes, Tehseen Poonawala. One duffer to another. All duffers here, you see.
You're absolutely right, Rahul. And I do agree with what Sanjay said. Ultimately, judges can only do in a limited scope what the prosecution puts up. It's very difficult for a judge to suo moto go out of his or her way once prosecution makes a case and defense agrees to it. So in a juvenile case, but I want to make a larger point. All of this, you can target the judiciary later on. And please, by all means, do it. Judiciary needs to be answerable, but we are not addressing the fundamental question of Pune. All of these builders are hands in glove with Ajit Pawar. All of them, come what may. And they're running nightclubs. The police, and all of them.
Hang on. All of this, it's not just Mr. Pawar. There might be others also across the. You see, this business of now, Tehseen, you're playing a political game here. Rise above your politics. Election khatam ho gaya Maharashtra mein, sir. It's the people who actually need justice and honesty. Viewers, let me tell you, I'm going to take a short break here. One second. I'm going to take a short break. I'm not here advocating for any political party here. Viewers, they're all, in my eyes, especially in this city, if this is what Mr. Poonawala is telling us about the wheels within wheels, they're all culpable. All of them need to answer. They all have blood on their hands, viewers. Let's be honest about that. But at the end of the day, who's going to prosecute them? That's the fundamental question. I'm taking a short break. Think that over. When we come back, we're going to look at Phase 6 and the Delhi vote, viewers. Very important. It's an important barometer of public sentiment, Delhi. It hasn't got it wrong in 37 years. I'll tell you why.
creates its own narratives, it has its own views, it pushes back on many of those things, and often what you think is my negative, they actually think is my positive. So you might try and skewer me somewhere, they are actually clapping their hands and say, oh, great job. So I think people out there are missing some things. Frankly, in many ways, I think they don't have an understanding of what are the changes in India. So I feel in a way we are seeing like a, I don't want to say last gasp because there will be more, but certainly a kind of a flailing effort by an old business which is overvalues its influence and which honestly in this country has become increasingly irrelevant. They still have their friends. The friends are counting on them. I know that. That's why friends keep appealing to them and cite them. But it's not going to happen.
I want to come back to again one more foreign policy issue because again your party leaders, various leaders have been referring to this about claiming POK and that it'll become part of India very soon if BJP is voted to power. Today I think the Prime Minister has given an interview where he has said कि मैं तो बिना वीजा के चला गया पाकिस्तान because एक ज़माने में तो हमारे देश का हिस्सा ही था. Is this some kind of an...
That's not quite what he said. He said मैं लाहौर गया whatever and he said वहाँ कोई TV interviewer कह रहा था.
Yeah.
So let's not put words in his mouth.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, is this some kind of an unfinished agenda for your government?
I think the POK is a long-standing that India's writ should run on POK, which is part of our country, is a long-standing position of the people and government of India and the Parliament of India. The problem is, like people have cheated on the constitution, like they have played games on so many other issues, they make it out as though that doesn't exist and this is something which is a sort of angularity of the BJP. BJP is reflecting and articulating what is the sentiment of every right-thinking Indian citizen. Which one of us does not believe that POK is part of India? And if it is part of us, do we not have a obligation and a sentiment and thinking about it? It's natural. But the issue has come up because, see, nobody wanted to talk about POK because they didn't want to talk about Kashmir. They didn't want to talk about Kashmir because everybody had a cozy arrangement in Kashmir. That cozy arrangement was draining the exchequer here and bleeding Kashmir there. That was really what was happening. Now, once you got out of that cozy arrangement and in a sense integrated and normalized Kashmir, and you are seeing the results today.
This is after the abrogation.
After the abrogation. Now, once you see that Kashmir take off, the valley take off, the POK people are naturally making those comparisons. So, I mean, I put it to you logically that Kashmir itself is an issue where an enormous effort has been made over multiple years to lead this country down the wrong path because there were frankly votes to be had, or so people thought. There were, there was very narrow political interests involved. And as I said, who gained from what cozy arrangements?
You're with the hard facts from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studios. Viewers, Judgment Day is here. About phase 6 of the Lok Sabha battle, it is safe to say that ballot boxes in 7 constituencies will hold the answer to who will win the 2024 election. History tells us that Delhi's voters spread across 7 constituencies have their finger on the national pulse. Perhaps being close to the corridors of power They have acquired an incomparable insight into who is best suited to govern India. The party they have picked in 9, yes viewers, 9 consecutive Lok Sabha elections in Delhi over a span of nearly 4 decades has either gone on to form the government on its own steam or has provided the Prime Minister at the head of the national coalition. Let me walk you through history. Since 1989, for 35 years, the Delhi voter has mirrored the national outcome. In 1989, Delhi's 7 seats saw BJP win 4, VP Singh's Janata Dal win 1, and Congress win only 2. The mixed result began coalition era with VP Singh as Prime Minister. Viewers, in 1991, the Janata Dal was wiped out in Delhi. VP Singh also disappeared. Congress won 2, BJP 5. Less than 0.5% of the vote share difference reflected the split mandate indecision in Delhi voters. That was also the kind of indecision we saw nationally. PV Narasimha Rao led a coalition formed on the basis of some ignominious means, viewers, and denied Atal Bihari Vajpayee and the Janata Dal a say in government formation. He ruled for 6 years, and consequential they were proven to be. In 1998-1999, BJP swept Delhi, winning 6 out of 7 and 7 out of 7 seats. Vajpayee formed the NDA government at the centre. BJP won, NDA came. 2004-2009, BJP was wiped out in Delhi by Congress. Manmohan Singh forms the Congress-led UPA government at the centre. So Congress wins, they form the government at the centre. 2014-2019, BJP sweeps Delhi, Congress is out. Modi forms majority NDA government at the centre. So that's why, viewers, they say Delhi is the pole bellwether of India. While the BJP can't afford to lose Delhi, it also has to be said that dislodging it is not going to be easy, viewers. It's improbable, but not impossible. Even then, viewers, let me talk you through some more hard facts. Even without Modi on the ticket, BJP's vote share hasn't dipped below 44.6% in Delhi since 1991 Lok Sabha polls. In its worst years, 2004 and 2009, BJP's vote share didn't dip below 35% in Delhi Lok Sabha elections. In 1989, viewers, it went down to about 24-25%, but at that time, things were very, very different. Combined vote share of AAP and Congress in 2014 and 2019 was less than BJP's individual vote share in Delhi. Even though, viewers, in 2014, if you really took both the AAP and the Congress together, there was only about a 1% difference between them and the BJP. So it was a close contest, but not actually in the end analysis, because the AAP and the Congress did not compete together. So they ate into each other's votes. AAP and Congress cadre this time, viewers, the chemistry is on test. No guarantee of a vote transfer. A large number of people will remember what happened in Uttar Pradesh in last election. 2019, you had the BSP, you had the SP, and you had the RLD come together, but despite that, the BJP got 62 out of 80 seats there, if I'm not mistaken. Several top Delhi Congress leaders quit, opposing a seat sharing with AAP. And viewers, there are of course murmurs within the AAP also of having tied up with the Congress, because as you know, there is a contest that is also going to take place in Punjab, where the AAP and the Congress are ripping into each other, accusing each other of being more corrupt than the other. So viewers, let me ask this question. Can the AAP Congress halt the BJP, turn national sentiment on its head and spring a surprise? But if they lose Delhi, they pretty much lose the country because of history, as I told you. Let's open this up. Dr. Birendra Chaudhary, senior journalist and political commentator. Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tehseen Poonawala, Professor Sanjay Kumar, cephalogist, co-director of the CSDS. Two very intelligent people here with us. And of course, two very worthy spokespeople. Tuhin Sinha, litmus test. You cannot afford to lose Delhi, but this time, you may have bitten off, according to the opposition, more than you can choose, because you have succeeded in uniting the immovable force of Mr. Kejriwal, as he calls himself.
Yeah. Good
and
evening,
the
Rahul.
yes, go ahead. Good
evening, everybody. Well, the Aam Aadmi Party Congress alliance is an alliance of abject despondency and frustration. They had no other option. In fact, senior leaders of the Congress party have quit the Congress party because they did not want an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, just 2 months ago, the Punjab CM had ridiculed the Congress party, saying, "Ek thi Congress." So, with a 57% vote share in 2019 election, and with the series of scams which have been exposed about, of the Aam Aadmi Party, I don't see any way, they are even going to be, I think their performance together is going to be worse than 2019. But more importantly, as you rightly pointed out, from 1989 onwards, Delhi has been a BJP stronghold. Imagine getting 4 seats out of 7 way back in 1989, and it continues to be a stronghold when it comes to Lok Sabha elections. There are certain places, which includes Jharkhand, where BJP is traditionally strong when it comes to Lok Sabha elections, because people don't trust the local parties in the national election. So all of these give a huge benefit to the BJP. And finally, what happened 10 days ago in Arvind Kejriwal's house, and the way he normalized violence against a sitting Rajya Sabha woman member, that is surely going to play up in the minds of women voters, because women's security is a big issue in Delhi.
Okay, not governance promise, but the promise of opportunism, says Mr. Sinha, that the AAP and the Congress present Tehseen Poonawalla to the voter. Rahul Gandhi, it appears, has already thrown in the towel. He has, in fact, given 4 seats to the AAP, a party that he holds in high contempt, if you go by what he has said himself in the past. And Kejriwal, of course, thinks nothing of the Congress. So these are two hapless, grasping at straws kind of convenient alliance here between two hopeless, that Tuhin Sinha says, hopeless individuals. I just want to ask you, if you can't win Delhi on your own, 7 seats, where are you going to win India, Mr. Poonawalla? What messages is sending out? Can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Mr. Poonawalla, you're on mute. Yeah.
So the good news for majority of the people, 60% plus of the people of India, is BJP is losing. Post 4 June, Prime Minister Modi will take oath as leader of opposition. But let me come to the larger question. 2 questions have been addressed. One is hypocrisy. One is hypocrisy and opportunism. You choose, Rahul, whether it's hypocrisy or opportunism, when the most honorable Home Minister says of Conrad Sangma that he's the most corrupt man in the history of India, most corrupt chief minister since 1947. Today they are in alliance with him. When Devendra Fadnavis says Ajit Pawar will be chakki pisowing, Ajit Pawar, in hand with builders in Pune, is today a proud member of the BJP government. So you decide whether it's opportunism or that is whatever that the BJP wants to term it as. But let me give you one statistic. Yes, the Aam Aadmi Party has more seats in Delhi to contest because simply they are a bigger party. Lok Sabha, Congress got more seats in Lok Sabha, the Congress got more seats in 2019, but Assembly Aam Aadmi Party is a bigger party, and you didn't want the opposition votes split, the 66% votes, for the Congress to win. So except for Manoj Tiwari's seat, which is the Purvachal factor, and Manoj Tiwari is the star, the rest of the seats I see are going to go to the Congress Aam Aadmi Party. I see this as 6-1 or 5-2 if the BJP gets very lucky, but I can't see where they win the second seat from. So I don't even think Mrs. Swaraj's daughter is winning. It's extremely tough for her also to win. So except for Manoj Tiwari, it seems extremely difficult anyone else winning. So I think it's going to go 6-1 or 5-2
Let me bring in the 2 experts now. Professor Sanjay Kumarji, let me begin with you and ask you a fundamental question here. Is it good enough if the AAP and the Congress were to go to the public and say, Modi ko harana hai, kisi bhi tarike se, we have to defeat Modi? That's the message you're going with, because as you know, these 2 parties are not friendly to each other. So I just want to ask you, A, what chance does a message like that have? And when you as a psephologist look at the architecture of this coalition, is it capable of undermining the BJP's success, historic success, where on an average their vote share has not dipped below 40% except for in one election? In fact, 2 elections, but that also minusculely.
Rahul, first, I don't think that if you look at the whole campaign which has been led by Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, they are no more campaigning on the issue of Modi ko hatana hai. And I'm sure, I would agree
that if you go into the campaign without any positive agenda, just saying we want to contest just to remove Modi, that won't attract the voters. But if I have followed the campaign carefully, I think they have picked up the issues of price rise, unemployment, they have picked up the issues of danger to constitution and danger to democracy. Earlier I used to believe that these two issues will not connect to the people, this issue of save the constitution and save democracy. But somehow when Prime Minister Modi said the target is 370 and the target is 400, Congress was able to connect these two things to say why BJP needs 370, because the aim is to change the
Modi ko
constitution.
hatana hai,
And
otherwise
the
he will change the
would mean-
constitution.
No, I don't think that Modi ko hatana hai was not tagged to that. Yes, if you want to defeat BJP, automatically Modi will get defeated. But I don't think that in the campaign it was so prominently said that Modi ko hatane ka chunav hai. I think the focus was more on democracy ko bachana hai, loktantra ko bachana hai and संविधान bachana hai. So I don't think that it was a very negative campaign against Modi, and if they had done that, whatever performance we see India Gathbandhan doing, they would have performed much worse.
I want to then ask you, if it is about saving the constitution and constitutional values, can a party whose chief minister is in jail, whose several other ministers are in jail being denied bail, will they be looked upon by the people of Delhi, which is quite an urban, constituent here? Will they be looked upon as the alternative?
No, I never said that they are being looked upon as an alternative and then people are going to vote in large numbers for Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. I was just referring to the campaign that they did not do a negative campaign. They went in a positive mode. But even that is not attracting the voters in such a sizable number that they can upset the calculations of BJP in Delhi 7 seats. Even if we assume that there is a 100% vote transfer between BJP and Congress, and going by the benchmark of 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress would require a 5% swing in its favor, and we have to assume that this 5% votes are the alliance is taking away from the BJP, and then they will be able to win one seat. And in order to win, like 5 or 6 seats, they need a 9 or 10% swing, which is very difficult. It's not easy for Aam Aadmi Party and Congress to generate a 9 or 10% swings away from BJP. And in a bipolar contest, if they are able to do that, these votes will by default come to Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, but a very difficult task for Aam Aadmi Party.
Very difficult. Dr. Chaudhary, what does your experience tell you? You've been researching this. What can you say here?
नमस्कार. देखिए, मेरा दिल्ली के चुनावी भविष्य पर 5 बातें कह सकता हूं मैं. नंबर 1, 2019 के आंकड़े को देखेंगे और संजय जी बहुत क्लोजली देखते ही रहते हैं. बीजेपी को तकरीबन 56.9% मिला. और सीधे मैं पॉइंट पर आता हूं कि कांग्रेस और आपको जोड़ दीजिए, कितना बनता है? 40.8. डिफरेंस कितना है? 16.1. देखिए, सेफोलॉजिकल टर्म में हम सब जानते हैं कि 16% का स्विंग यदि होगा तो सच मानिए कि सब कुछ बदल जाएगा. क्या आप मानते हैं कि 16% का बदलाव होगा? नहीं होगा. नंबर 2, आप 7 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी का देख लीजिए डेटा. 7 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में बीजेपी 2019 में 50% से ज्यादा वोट पाती है. नंबर 2. नंबर 3, यदि आप रनर अप यानी कांग्रेस थी 2019 में, 7 में से 5 पे थी, 2 आप पे, लेकिन ओवरऑल कांग्रेस थी. कितना डिफरेंस है? बीजेपी का 56.9 और कांग्रेस का 22.6, यानी फासला कितना है? 34.3% का. अब पार्टी के हिसाब से देखिए, चौथा पॉइंट कि 2014 से 2019 के लोकसभा चुनाव में बीजेपी के वोट में इजाफा होता है 10.3. आपके वोट में गिरावट आती है लगभग 15%. कांग्रेस को पता नहीं है पता होना चाहिए कि 2014 से 2019 में वोट का इजाफा होता है 7.4, लेकिन कहने का मतलब यह है कि बीजेपी का इजाफा सातों सीट पर 50%, ओवरऑल 50%, क्या कहता है? मुझे लगता है कि दोनों पार्टी मिलके भी बीजेपी को सातों सीट पर कोई आंच नहीं पहुंचा सकते। एक सीट का नाम जरूर हम जोड़ना चाहेंगे, जो मनोज तिवारी का है। आप सबको पता होगा कि मनोज तिवारी ने शीला दीक्षित को भी चुनाव में हराया था, अब भारी वोटों से हराया था। यदि वो आंकड़ा मैं आपको कह दूं सातों कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी का, अब बीजेपी आपको आप और कांग्रेस को जोड़ लीजिए तो साफ साफ पिक्चर आएगा। इन आंकड़ों के आधार पर मैं कह सकता हूं कि सातों सीट पर कांग्रेस और आप कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी। सातों का सातों सीट, ये मेरा अनुमान है, आंकड़ों पर आधारित बीजेपी फिर से जीते।
Sanjay Kumar ji, let me ask you again. The challenge here is to overcome this differential vote share. It will all depend on the chemistry between the cadre of the AAP and the Congress. Can there be what they say in vernacular terms, talmel between the cadre?
I don't think there is any issue about the talmel between the cadre, whether we are talking about UP or Bihar or in Delhi, because what I see happening during last couple of months, that more than the political parties and the leaders, people are contesting this election. What I mean to say is that there is a chemistry. People who don't want this government to be re-elected, they are joining hands together, irrespective of whether they were fighting against each other in the past. So talmel is not a problem, but the benchmark is a big problem. Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress benchmark is very low, and even if there is a good talmel, they will not be able to overcome, they will not be able to cross the margin of this 16% vote difference between Aam Aadmi Party Congress alliance and the BJP. That's the real difficulty for Congress and Aam Aadmi Party.
Tehseen Poonawalla, you're just too gone to be able to close that gap. Please give me some data-driven reasons rather than just rhetoric. Rhetoric is acceptable, but without data, it sounds empty, hollow.
You're right on that. And both Sanjay ji and Dr. Saab, I have tremendous respect for them. And they are talking about math. But you will understand that in elections, chemistry overrides math. And the chemistry anti-BJP is united. 66, 67% of the people want the BJP out. Now, you may say 2019, the BJP got 50.6% vote. I agree to that. So in 84, the Congress got 400 seats. It means nothing. That is the past. What is today? Today, there is a massive need for change, disappointment. And I'm again saying, except for Manoj Tiwari's constituency, because of the Purvanchal factor, every other constituency, the BJP is in trouble.
Okay,
the
so somehow Purvanchal voters get swayed by other factors like kinship, etc. You are again contradicting
yourself. Manoj
yourself.
is a bigger candidate. I'll explain to you.
Okay, one second.
Manoj
let me get in Tuhin Sinha on this.
And you had a good... No, please. I don't want to be misrepresented. I think you should give me the right. Because Manoj is a Purvanchali star. He's a massive star. Had we had somebody like Neha Singh Rathod, the
so
singer,
so everyone will pick... No, hang on.
Better.
In various different constituencies, there are different, as we know, viewers, stratas of society. You pick the right person.
But here we have Manoj is a very big star.
Why couldn't Dr. Manmohan Singh win, for example, from the most prestigious constituency, viewers? When we all know...
Ji also lost elections. Atalji also lost.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. So you're contradicting yourself. You're completely contradicting yourself.
I'm saying Congress is winning.
Was chosen for a particular reason to represent that particular constituency or stand for election, given the ticket. Everyone is given a ticket on the basis of what is the larger, caste, etc., and community composition. So come on. I mean, that's ridiculous. Anyhow, let me bring in Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin Sinha, look, the message that is going out there is that you don't deserve to be back. And that's enough, Tuhin Sinha. Respond to that.
Rahul, the words, is bar election janta lad rahi hai, have been used so often in these elections that they seem to be a disguised admission of a particular side lagging behind.
Right.
I think there can't be a substitute for data. You can't have a 16% vote share out of nothing. And let me state this with responsibility that BJP is not only going to win all the 7 seats, it is also roughly going to retain the vote share. Why? because of the consolidation of women voters, which anyway has been a crucial factor in the success of BJP in
Okay,
recent
well,
years.
we'll have to see the women vote
what
tomorrow.
has happened in the last 10
Let
years?
me tell you in two swing states,
What has
viewers.
happened in
Yes.
the last 10 days
I
in
know,
Delhi,
I
especially
know,
in
I
the
know,
Swati
I understand where you're coming from. But 1 second, viewers, before I take a quick break, let me tell you that women voters in two swing states are outperforming the men when it comes to casting their ballot, and that's Bihar and West Bengal. What will that say, viewers? Will that happen here in Delhi? We don't know. Are they going to be the ultimate deciders? We don't know. It'll all begin to unravel tomorrow. We leave it at that. Thank you very much. Do go out and vote, viewers.
Co-powered by.
I think we are already beginning to see.
So let's talk a little bit more about some of these political games, and you have referred to this, and some of this is in the foreign policy domain. The Western media and some of the coverage of the Western media around our elections. Now, you were in Kolkata, I think, last week, and you said that countries which have to go to court for deciding election results are giving gyan on conducting polls. You also earlier said that some of these folks are trying to become active players in our elections. Now, my point is that if India is conducting this election, there are 90 plus crore voters who are voting. Some of these folks seem to have discounted that fact. What do you say to them? The sections of the press that you are saying is biased, whether it is the Guardian report which says, oh, Modi is constructing highways, but where are the jobs? Or the New York Times report which says, India's Muslims in Modi's India, and so on and so forth. What do you say to them? You have 90 crore people who are going out and exercising their franchise. There seems to be a disconnect between the two.
Well, two things. To them, I think the real answer would be given by those 90 crore people on the 4th of June. Okay, I'm waiting for that. Number two, the interim answer which I'm giving is, look, I know what you guys are doing, or what you guys are trying to do, what you think you can do. You think still that this is the old era where you set the tonality and the argumentation. Then your fellow travelers pick it up within the country. Then the public gets influenced by the way the narrative goes. Now guess what? It doesn't work like that anymore. Number one, yes, there are segments of my politics and segments of my media which are very attached to you, and you have a echo chamber arrangement out here. Recognize that. But a large part of my system today is thankfully autonomous of you, that it generates its own narratives, it has its own views, it pushes back on many of those things, and often what you think is my negative, they actually think is my positive. So you might try and skewer me somewhere, they are actually clapping their hands and say, oh, great job. So I think people out there are missing some things. Frankly, in many ways, I think they don't have an understanding of what are the changes in India. So I feel in a way we are seeing like a, I don't want to say last gasp, because there will be more, but certainly a kind of a flailing effort by an old business which overvalues its influence, and which honestly in this country has become increasingly irrelevant. They still have their friends. The friends are counting on them. I know that. That's why friends keep appealing to them and cite them. But it's not going to happen.
I want to come back to again one more foreign policy issue, because again your party leaders, various leaders have been referring to this about claiming POK, and that it'll become part of India very soon if BJP is voted to power. Today, I think the Prime Minister has given an interview where he has said कि मैं तो बिना वीजा के चला गया पाकिस्तान.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As the battle for Bharat heats up and we are coming up to the final two phases, we thought let's also then travel to the east. And we are in the lovely, bustling city, steeped in history, the city of Kolkata, on board the Ganges Queen, on the Hooghly or on Ma Ganga itself. And with a bunch of citizens who are, all celebrated, huge achievers by their own rights in their own field, but then who all carry a little bit of Bengal and a lot of Kolkata with them. So let's say it like that. Abhijit Majumdar, a good friend, colleague, and also senior journalist with us here. Namaste. Thank you very, very much. We have Amrita Basu, educationist, founder, trustee of Bengal Thinks. Dr. Saptarishi Basu, renowned cardiologist, Woodlands Hospital. Namaste. Thank you very, very much. There is another claim to fame for Dr. Basu.